A train X starts from Meerut at 4 p.m. and reaches Ghaziabad at 5 p.m. So let's quickly draw the figure. In time speed distance questions, I always like to draw the figure because that gives us a lot of clarity. Let's assume that here we have Meerut and here we have Ghaziabad, and a train starts from station X. This is a train X. Here we have train X that starts at 4 p.m. and reaches here at 5 p.m. While there is another train that starts from Y. It starts from Y at 4 p.m. and so that train starts Y in the direction of Meerut at 4 p.m. and then it reaches Meerut at 5:30 p.m. That means in a way this train takes 1.5 hours to complete the journey, while the earlier train takes only 1 hour to complete the journey, right? So the two trains will cross each other at what time? Now, there are two ways we can answer this question. Let me quickly discuss the method that I prefer. I would like to simply assume that the distance between the Meerut and Ghaziabad is something that satisfies this 1.5 both. So I'm just assuming it in order to keep everything integer as 15 kilometers, right? Because the train X completes it in 1 hour, so the train's X speed must be equal to 15 kilometers per hour. And since train Y takes 1.5 hours, so the speed of Y should be speed is equal to distance over time. So 15 over 1.5 becomes 10 kilometers per hour. So that's the speed of Y, 10 kilometers per hour. Now we already have understood that when the two trains are moving in the opposite direction, we can quickly calculate the relative speed, and here the relative speed when the two trains are moving in the opposite direction will be sum of the two. That means the relative speed is 25 kilometers per hour. Now, the question is about the time when they cross each other. So the time will be calculated when both the trains together have crossed a distance of, have completed the distance of 25, a distance of 15, because together they are traveling. So if they are meeting here, then the first train has traveled some part of it, the second train has traveled the remaining part of the journey, and the total length of the journey is 15 kilometers. So 15 kilometers needs to be traveled at a relative speed of 25 kilometers per hour. So that gives us a time that is 3 over 5 hours. 3 over 5 hours can be converted into minutes by multiplying it by 60. So it becomes 36 minutes. So 36 minutes after 4 p.m. the time becomes 4:36 p.m. So that will be the time at which the two trains will cross each other. That is method number 1. This is what I prefer because it gives exact clarity about this question. Now there is a second method as well. Let's quickly look at it. The second method is about the principle that we discussed in a conceptual video, that the ratio of the speeds of two objects is always equal to the reciprocal of the ratio of their times if the distance is constant, right? That means if the distance is constant, then the ratio of their speeds will be equal to the ratio of their times. And likewise, we have also understood that when time is equal to constant, then the ratio of their speeds will be equal to the ratio of their distances. Now, so since the first train has taken the time, let's say time of x is equal to 1 hour and time of y is equal to 1.5 hours. So we can say Sx over Sy, that means the speed of x upon the speed of y, is equal to the time of y over time of x. That means this gives us the very first information, that is Sx over Sy will be equal to time of y, which is 1.5 over 1. That means it is equal to 3 by 2. So this is the first information that we have. And since we know that S1 upon S2 is equal to D1 upon D2, so the ratio of their distances dx over dy should also be equal to 3 over 2. Now, that means if the total distance is divided into 5 parts, 3 parts have been traveled by x and 2 parts have been traveled by y. So the distance traveled by x should be equal to 3 out of 5 times of the total distance, right? And when the first train takes 1 hour to travel the entire distance, Then to travel 3/5 of the distance, the train will take 3/5 of the time. That means 3/5 of 60 minutes. That will be the time of x when it crosses this distance, and the distance and the time taken becomes equal to 36 minutes. So once again, it takes us to the same calculation that the time at which the two trains will cross each other will be 4:36, which is option A. So option A becomes our correct answer. I hope that explains. So these are two methods. I prefer method 1 because that's quite simpler than method 2. We have to remember these two principles, and I don't think that they are of really great use for us. So thank you so much for watching this video.